I used to be One Piece's biggest hater, but I caught up to all 1,000 episodes in less than 38 days. I really can't believe that I made it all the way to Egghead, because when I first started watching the show, I dropped it because of the animation. That was literally the only reason I dropped it. I knew that One Piece was a great show, but the animation was so unbearable that I couldn't stand to watch it. I know some people say an anime isn't made by its animation, but those people obviously haven't seen Demon Slayer, because Demon Slayer's animation carries. And most people watch Demon Slayer for the animation. Like, why do you think it's won so many awards? Because of the animation. And One Piece had such like dreaded art that I couldn't focus on anything. Like when I used to see certain scenes and see the characters' legs stretched all the way out and their heads super small, I'm like, bro, I can't take this shit seriously. It looks like he's a walking, talking spoon. And people were saying that, oh, the plot, you get through the plot, it'll make you change your mind. And I was always saying, Cap, that's a lie. You're lying to yourself. There's no way this plot is so good that you're gonna stick through this anime just to watch it. It's no way. But as you can see with this video being made, I was wrong. I wasn't lying about one thing. That animation was awful, but that plot, man, that plot made me a long-time One Piece fan like I am today. I will sit through any bad animation as long as the plot is as good as One Piece's plot is. Now, there's one other thing that ended up happening with this show, and that's the pacing. The pacing in One Piece is horrible. The things that I had to help with that pacing is the Wit Studio and my friend. Wit Studio's making another not live adaptation, but another adaptation of One Piece. And it's gonna be, I think, in like the Attack on Titan type style. I really am looking forward to that. When they remake that, Nami's arc, all of East Blue is gonna look perfect. I don't care what you have to say. If you're a One Piece fan, you gotta go look at that. But the second thing is my friend Jellyfish Joshua, who I'm probably gonna leave in the description, Twitter or whatever. Anyways, he put me on to One Piece, and man, was that a godsend. I don't think I would have got through Wano I would have got through it because I like One Piece and the animation was so much better by then. But the pacing, bro, watching somebody run through a hallway to a to be continued screen for 3 fucking episodes should not be something that's normalized. It should not be something that One Piece fans are okay with, and I don't see how we are okay with that. That is something that is something that Dragon Ball fans have been getting made fun of for. And then we talk about Naruto fans with the filler. That's filler. That running through a hallway for 3 episodes is so unrealistic, even though it's anime and it's not supposed to be realistic. There's no way you think that's okay. But at the same time, the plot is so great that you gotta sit through bullshit like that. And that is one thing. If you use that as a point to say that the plot is good enough to stick around, then I can agree with you. But if you say, oh, it's not filler, so it's all right, you're stupid. you're stupid. But I digress. I have a lot of favorite things with this show. The character dynamics between the people and the pirates and the government and the Navy, which are 2 totally different things. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad, sometimes they're wishy-washy. The government is normally always bad, but that's another topic for later in the video. 2 things that I like the most are Brook and Sanji. Brook and Sanji are 2 of my most favorite characters. Sanji because of his whole character dynamic with everybody on the crew. Yeah, he's that pervert character, like that comedy outlet, and Brook is also the same thing. Brook is more so, how is the best way to put this? Brook is the comedy aspect of like, I'm just funny to be funny, you know? I'm dead, so I make a occasional dead joke every now and then. Or I'll ask a girl to let me see her panties or something like that. That's gonna be clipped and put on TikTok. Anyways, he says some funny shit like that every now and then, and it's like, at first it's corny. At first it's like, okay, I don't really like this, especially when he first gets introduced. It's funny, but at the same time, it's like, I don't really fuck with this. But as the show keeps going, his dead jokes get funnier. Him becoming the Soul King and everything in their entirety. And this is probably a good time, since I just said that, because that's not really a spoiler, but this is probably a good time to say, I'm gonna drop some spoilers here and there about transformations, about later arcs. So if you have not caught all the way up to One Piece, I suggest you don't watch this until you do. because I'm going to say a lot of spoilers in this video, and that is your only warning. And if you didn't hear me, you didn't see it on the screen, because I know I plastered it on the screen, that's your fault. And now I'm gonna keep going, because Sanji's whole character, his backstory is really good. The only thing that made me want to stop fucking with Sanji is that battle between him and Luffy. And it's really crazy that people have all these ideas about what would have happened if Zoro was there, what happened because Nami was there, how Nami is the only person that was there to witness that fight, and how the characters ended up working after the fact. I'm so happy that we all got along after that. I'm so happy that Sanji wasn't dropped from the crew, but at the same time, I literally considered only liking Brook from that point, because I truly did not fuck with Sanji in that moment. In that moment, I felt like Nami. Because I'm like, bro, you failed as a crewmate, bro. Because Cracker, the person named Cracker in the show, was saying, like, when he sees you, he's gonna say, get away from me, you filthy fucking pirate. And I'm like, Sanji ain't gonna say that dumb shit. Come on, we know who Sanji is. And then Sanji says, get away from me, you filthy fucking pirate. And it's a bad moment. It's a bad moment. Like, it's a bad moment. I genuinely wanted to stop fucking with Sanji after that, but it happens, I guess. You know, there's always moments where you don't like a certain character. I feel like the arc where Usopp and Luffy had that argument, it made you want to stop fucking with Usopp too. But after a while, after he became God Usopp, it's just like you love those kind of things. Those kind of things make the anime. And then especially with the comedy aspects of it, with Law and Bonnie, and eventually Dr. Vegapunk, and then Kuma. Well, Kuma didn't have any comedy stuff, but just like the whole character dynamic between everybody. And my most favorite character dynamic and anybody in the show, well, my two most favorite is Doffy and his family, and Garp, Ace, and Luffy and their family. Garp is fucking insane, and as you continue to watch One Piece, he gets more insane-o every time you see the guy. And the most recent arc with Egghead, and seeing Garp actually just, oh my, it's hard to talk about it, because, bro, him doing that galaxy or meteor or whatever impact, crashing through the city, it makes you realize how much Garp really loves Luffy and Ace. And bro, cause he could have murdered majority of those pirates in that war, bro. And I will die on that hill. I don't know if he could have took out Whitebeard at that moment. I don't know if he could have took out Marco. Well, maybe he could have, and that's debatable. That's a debatable thing, because the way he punched and the ship goes boom, it was crazy. And then he's in the air like this, like Superman, and then he goes down, superhero landing, clears buildings, clears the area, bro. And it's just like, bro. And then you think back to the Marineford War arc, and it's like he lets Luffy punch him. He was gonna kill. He was going to murder Akainu. He was going to demolish Akainu if he got his hands on him. After seeing that, I don't know what he did in the 2 years. Maybe Akainu has trained and gotten way better, but I don't think he could have took one of those to the face, one of those real deal Garp punches to the face. That would have been real devastating. But I digress again. I don't only just love the characters though. I love the way Oda writes. He is probably one of the best writers in anime fiction, because the way that he wraps up an arc is just magical. The whole arc can be a sleeper. I fucking hated Impel Down. I hated Impel Down with a passion, and I still do. I will never rewatch that. Even when Wit Studio remakes it, I'm not watching that bullshit. I hated it. I hated every character returning. Well, I don't hate them returning. I love the characters returning. I love meeting Jinbei. I love meeting Ivankov. I love meeting the reinvented version of Buggy and the reinvented version of Blonde Clay. And I love meeting just like Ace, Sing Crocodile again. I love all of that. But the arc itself was ass. The Blackbeard versus Luffy fight, ass. The poison Magellan or whatever his name versus Luffy, ass. He does get a poison resistance, so I do understand that. The only thing that was the top 3 things from this arc is Bon Clay being a real deal stepper, a real nigga, like a real guy, bro. Bon Clay is the #1 homie. If Vankov treating our boy Luffy and Luffy only surviving through sheer willpower, that is fire. And then the assimilation of the Blackbeard Pirates, I guess. I mean, I don't care, but at the same time, that's important. So yeah, that's cool, I guess. But at the end of that arc, seeing Bon Clay get trapped down there because of his self-sacrifice, that is amazing. The Gecko Moria Thriller Bark arc, the way that wrapped up, just everybody being happy that they're lifted from that shadow curse, that felt like some Baldur's Gate 3 type shit. And that was amazing. Every arc that wraps up, it always wraps up in a perfect and splendid way. Saba Odi, it was heartbreaking, but it wrapped up in a great way. I mean, there's not one arc I can put to in my mind. Maybe Fishman Island, but even that, it had the lead up until Big Mom. So it's like, bro, there's no arc that finishes and I'm just not like sitting here with that lump in my chest of happiness, bro. And One Piece is the one anime that really gets that down. It really gets that done for me. Another thing with Oda's writing is he loves a tragic backstory. He loves that tragic backstory. That's like a chain he loves to yank on his viewers. Like with Robin, the funny story that's really sad, but I really laugh at it. With Zoro, his friend or rival falling downstairs, I laugh every single time and I apologize, but I don't feel sorry about it. That shit is hilarious. His arch nemesis or his arch rival or his arch best friend died from stairs. The best swordswoman of all time, maybe, died from stairs. That's fucking hilarious. I don't care. I don't care. That's hilarious. Sanji getting bullied was really heartbreaking and really traumatic, but it's a very good backstory and I really enjoyed that. And then all the other people, Law, Corazon, Dofi even. I feel like Dofi's rage is justified, but the things he does after aren't, if you get what I'm saying. Like, he's an evil character that deserves to be evil. He's like the pain that we all know and we all love, you know? Like, we don't justify, what is the thing that, genocide is bad. We don't like that. That's not cool. But it's justified. It's justified. I mean, if you're hanging on the side of a roof or people poke you with pitchforks and try to burn you, it's justified. His evilness is justified. And like I said earlier, the character dynamics in the show are amazing. Like I said, Corazon, Law, Bonnie, Dr. Vegapunk, Dofi even, like every character matters. And I feel like in a show that's like this, where it has such a big world, it's so hard to make these characters matter. And I feel like in One Piece, these characters legit, if you remove any single person from the One Piece verse, the One Piece verse falls apart. I don't feel that way in Impel Down, but that's besides the point. I feel like any character that's removed, it makes something not right. You know, that one guy that was throwing axes at the princess's door and he had like tracking the track fruit or something, whatever the fuck, and you remove him, maybe the arc goes faster. Maybe there's something there that we don't really need, you know? But since he was there, it added so much more to the show. And it's just like little things like that Oda writes. It's just mwah, chef's kiss, and I love that shit. The next thing that I love so dearly is the transformations. Because unlike Dragon Ball's transformations mattered to an extent. When Gohan went Super Saiyan 2, you felt that. When Goku went Super Saiyan 1 for the first time, you felt that. But when Vegeta did it, it wasn't as cool. I'll be honest, it wasn't as cool until he pulled out that Super Saiyan 2 buff transformation. Then it was like, okay, I kind of get you, Vegeta, you feel me? But at the same time, none of those transformations hit like Gear 2 hit. When he put his fist on the ground and then he speed blitzed that dude with the horns. I can't remember his name right now. Leave his name in the comments. I'll remember it later. But just that transformation. Gear 3 is the only transformation that I feel like doesn't matter, but it's such a necessity because it's like he blows up himself, not blows up himself, but he puts air in his arms and all that other stuff, and then he like balloons himself. It's the only one that doesn't really matter. It's a necessity though, but the ones that matter the most are Gear fucking 4 and Gear freaking 5. Gear 4, Bounce Man and Snake Man. Snake Man's obviously the best one, but Bounce Man in the comedic sense of Luffy makes so much sense and is so funny. And when he goes against Doffy and Doffy's like, can you not stop bouncing? He's like, no! that's funny as fuck. Especially like the comedic moments in this show make this show so much better. Like when he's fighting Crocodile, he realizes water is Crocodile's weakness. So he sucks up all of the water and the water starts pouring out of his belly. He's like, oh no, a leak! I can't with like that the comedy moments in this show make this show 10 times better. And I honestly, like when a nail made that face too, I know you know the face that I'm talking about. Like this show is so crazy. But let's get back into the rhythm of things with Gear fucking 5. Joy Boy has returned. There is nothing that will get those drums out of my head. There is nothing that will get his laugh out of my head. There is nothing to get that goofiness out of my head. And to all the people saying that that is too goofy, you've been watching the wrong show. You've been watching the wrong show. I don't know what One Piece you've been watching, but I just named several things that take up that comedy aspect and make the show 10 times better. And that's what we've been watching the entire time. There's been serious moments, like the moment in Alabasta where Luffy and Vivi get into that fight. That's serious. When I can't think of any other serious moments, but that's the point, you know? It's so many, the comedy moments overlap the serious moments. So you should know what you're watching at this point for Gear 5 to make sense. And even if that wasn't the case, right before this ridiculous shit started happening, the government dropped the ball. They dropped the lore and said, man, this devil fruit, when it gets awakened, it's the most ridiculous fruit. It's like putting on that green mask that damn, what's the guy's name that Jim Carrey put on, the green mask. I said the green mask anyway, so I could have just left it at that. But when he puts on that green mask and he turns into some ridiculous figure that has all this toon force, that's what they said this fruit does when it awakens. So why are you surprised that he does ridiculous shit? That's what they just said he does. And when he does the shit, when he yanks Kaido through the fucking floor, when he slams him, when he plays jump rope with the fucking body of Kaido, and then the Lucci fight, the revenge arc, if you will. And when Lucci's like, what the fuck is that on your poster? And Luffy's like, you wanna see? And then flash dips his ass. Holy shit, that I can't take certain moments in this show because the way they are written, the way the characters just move, the way they talk to each other, it's just like a different kind of feeling. And me being an isekai nerd, I look at the face value of shit. That's why I couldn't watch the show when it had bad animation, because I'm so used to the community average being like really average, you know? And One Piece back in the day before the time skip was not even average. It had great plot, I'll give it that, but it wasn't even average. So I didn't want to watch it. I was too busy watching ReZero, Steins Gate. Maybe Steins Gate wasn't up to that average either. Erased, you know, Death Note. You know, I was busy watching those shows that looked good to me, that I missed out on this masterpiece. I dropped it at episode 500 right after the most impactful war even happened. When I rewatched the war arc, I was like, damn, why did I drop this show? Maybe I was too young to understand what the fuck was going on here. I mean, I was watching Pokemon, Beyblade, and Naruto, so maybe I was just too young to understand it. But I'm happy I had a friend that got me back into the show, because it genuinely is a different kind of feeling to watch this show. I never understood people when they said anime, or at least when they said One Piece is too long. I never understood that, because if you have something great, if you have something good, you want it to last forever. Somebody said in my comments one time when I said that, though, that if you had a lot of pizza and you really love pizza, would you want it to be endless, or would you want it to be like something you get once in a blue moon that you really can savor, you really can enjoy in the spare moments? Me being fat, I'll eat that pizza, gang. So I don't know. Me personally, if I can enjoy everything in one moment, I'll enjoy that. I understand the realm of patience, the realm of being sparingly with good things. So when you get good things, you can really enjoy those good things. But I also understand the realm of, if I got something good, why would I want that good to end? Why would I not want to be happy watching the good thing? So when people were saying One Piece is too long, it's so trash because it's so long, 1,000 fucking episodes, bro, I get that. I get it's 1,000 episodes. But when you watch episode 1 and you get to episode 100 and, I mean, when you get to episode 100 and, why can I say 100? 1,101, you're gonna be like, yo, and once you get that feeling in you, once you get that feeling in a deep pit in your chest, bro, that feeling will never leave. You're forever a One Piece fan. You can't leave now. We already got you by a bear trap. You're done, buddy. And that's how I feel now. I feel like even if I wanted to leave, I couldn't, because I could not leave this show without seeing what happens next and without finding what the One Piece is. And I know once that One Piece drops, Gear 5 got spoiled for me. So when that One Piece drops and we figure out what it is, it's gonna get spoiled for everybody. So you better get your ride in your seat right now, because I'm so happy that I got my ride back in this roller coaster of emotions. And I'm so happy that I ended up watching the show in 38 days. And if I could forget it all and do it all over again, I definitely would. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button and like button and the little bell, just show me some extra love. And do you like One Piece? If you have never seen One Piece and you just watched this whole video, thank you for watching, by the way. But how do you feel about it? Did this make you want to go watch One Piece, or are you still saying fuck One Piece? You know? But yeah, thank you for watching this video, and peace.